Aganyu. It's bad.
Today, we are diving into a topic that has recently sparked a lot of debate in South Africa, a major government raid targeting undocumented immigrants at the popular China Mall in Johannesburg. This incident, which led to panic, arrests, and deportations, sheds light on the growing focus South African authorities are placing on controlling illegal immigration in the country. The story has raised concerns and questions about immigration, resource allocation, and human rights, and it has quickly become a critical point of conversation. If you're interested in the impacts of immigration policies, local business dynamics, or South African law enforcement's approach to undocumented workers, you'll want to stay tuned for this video. On a typical day, China Mall is a bustling center filled with shops and vendors selling everything from electronics to clothing and household items. Known for its affordable products, China Mall attracts locals and tourists alike, making it one of Johannesburg's most active commercial centers. But, along with the vibrant economic activity, the mall has also gained a reputation as a hub for undocumented workers, many of whom are drawn to South Africa's relatively strong economy in comparison to neighboring nations. Many of these undocumented workers come to find better opportunities for themselves and their families. However, this also means that immigration authorities frequently keep an eye on the area. This particular raid was part of a broader government initiative to enforce immigration laws more strictly, reflecting South Africa's increasingly determined approach to dealing with illegal immigration. Authorities from the South African Police Service and the Department of Home Affairs worked together in this well-coordinated operation. When officials entered the mall, news of the raid spread rapidly, creating a scene of fear and chaos. Eyewitnesses reported people running in all directions, with some shop owners and workers even abandoning their goods in their rush to escape. By the end of the raid, more than 100 individuals without documentation were detained, with some already facing deportation. The government's crackdown on undocumented immigrants reflects a complex and multifaceted issue that South Africa is currently grappling with. While some argue that this strict approach to immigration is necessary to protect local jobs and resources, others worry about the impact it has on vulnerable individuals who came to South Africa to find better opportunities. It's essential to look at the broader picture of South Africa's economy, its social structure, and the challenges it faces to fully understand why immigration control has become such a priority for the government. South Africa is a regional powerhouse, both economically and politically, which means it naturally attracts people from neighboring countries. Over the past few decades, many individuals have entered South Africa in search of jobs and security, some legally, and others without the required documentation. However, in recent years, South Africa has faced increasing pressure on its economy, with rising unemployment rates and competition for limited resources. These conditions have created a tension in society, with many South Africans calling for stricter immigration control, arguing that the influx of undocumented individuals has contributed to rising unemployment, strained public services, and a growing informal economy. For many people, operations like the one at China Mall signal the government's response to these concerns. In official statements, representatives from the Department of Home Affairs emphasized that they are intensifying efforts to ensure that everyone in South Africa is there legally, and that operations like these will continue as part of their enforcement strategy. The government aims to restore order and accountability while reassuring South African citizens that their concerns are being taken seriously. Yet, this approach also raises questions about human rights and the treatment of undocumented individuals, many of whom come from countries where economic hardships or political instability leave them with few options. As we consider the broader impact, it's essential to acknowledge that while some South Africans support these raids as necessary steps for the country's stability, human rights organizations and activists have voiced significant concerns. Many worry that such operations may be overly aggressive, possibly overlooking due process and leading to inhumane treatment of migrants. These groups argue that the government should address the underlying reasons people migrate, focusing on solutions that can both protect the economy and respect individual rights. They emphasize that while the law must be upheld, South Africa also has a responsibility to ensure that everyone, documented or undocumented, is treated with dignity and respect. One key area where these issues intersect is in the economic contributions of undocumented individuals. In places like China Mall, many undocumented workers play an essential role in keeping businesses operating smoothly, and their work helps drive South Africa's informal economy. Although undocumented, these individuals often work long hours and perform tasks that support the broader commercial infrastructure. Some critics argue that these raids overlook the valuable role undocumented workers play in local economies, and that a more balanced approach could benefit everyone. On the other hand, the government and those in favor of these measures argue that the current situation cannot continue unchecked. They believe that undocumented immigration strains resources and that the country cannot sustain such a high level of informal employment, particularly given the current challenges South Africa faces with poverty, unemployment, and infrastructure needs. The broader strategy includes similar operations in other cities, signaling that the government is fully committed to enforcing its immigration policies despite the controversy. The tension between enforcing immigration laws and upholding human rights represents a broader issue that countries worldwide are facing. For South Africa, a country with a deep history of social and economic challenges, finding a balance is crucial. The debate around undocumented workers at places like China Mall shows that South Africans are deeply concerned about the future of their country, its economy, and how to build a society that can offer security and opportunity to all. So, what's next for South Africa? The country faces a tough road ahead as it works to refine its immigration policies. Stricter enforcement is likely to continue, especially in high-density commercial areas, but it's clear that the government will need to engage with both its citizens and its neighbors to build a more sustainable immigration framework. This could mean developing policies that address not just immediate immigration issues but also the factors driving migration to South Africa. If you found this video informative, don't forget to subscribe for more content exploring South African news and global topics. We'd also love to hear from you in the comments. How do you feel about the government's approach to immigration control? Is there a better way forward, or are these raids necessary to protect South Africa's interests? Let's keep the conversation going.